Hello friends, Namaste. So good evening, good afternoon and good morning as per your time zone in which you are watching this series. So today I bring with a fifth session of the Terraform Basic. So you can see that this is the series that I am building for the Terraform Association examinations. So this will be very helpful because I am taking this particular subject from the very basic level and giving it to the advanced level after some time. So currently we are in the basic phase. So we are just trying to understand how the Terraform's related code work with the AWS. So if you didn't viewed my previous videos, you can go to that piece videos because already the four part I already released for the Terraform series, and this is the fifth part. So today we are going to discuss on the Terraform format, we can validate the file, and we will also do a hands-on in which we create the EIP and EC2 instance. After that, we will going to associate them because you know that EIP will be associated with the EC2 instance because whenever the EC2 instance gets shut down, a new public IP get associated. So when we associate a EIP with a EC2 instance, each time when you reboot your system, means you shut down your system and then restart it back, you will have a linking with the EIP, and in that case you will have the unique the same EIP all the time whenever you restart the system. So thanks for guys, you just did a wonderful job. This motivates me. You subscribed, you liked, you put several comments on the LinkedIn also. You asked several questions, and whenever I get time, I just replied them back. You adding the questions or your comments in the YouTube channel also, and whenever I have the time, I'm replying it. So thanks for all the motivations. You the guys are doing really a great job because within a 6th month I have more than 5,000 subscribers. This is not a easiest task in which you supported me a lot. So thanks for this wonderful uh, activities, I can say, because this is the learning and it's teamwork. I am also doing the learning several things, and I'm trying to give back to the community also so that we can make a good environment, you can say, and the good learning environment where I also learn something from you guys, and whatever I will contribute, I'm contributing from my side. Okay, I learned a lot from the YouTube, and this is time to give something back to the YouTube through YouTube channel. So now I'm moving to the interface because the main agenda of today's session is to give something new to you guys. So you can see that don't have any EC2 instance running. Okay, we don't have the elastic IP. I'm connected with the Mumbai reason. So I'm doing all the environment, all the resource creations, all the things in the Mumbai only, because this is we don't have the some latency issues because I am also in India. So the Mumbai will be fine for me to not face any latency issue. So we don't have any instance, we don't have any elastic IP. Now this is the atom editor. Okay, you can see that I simply added the Terraform provider. We are using the AWS provider as usual in all the videos. So I'm concentrating on the AWS provider, and you can move into the any of the provider Azure, GCP. So the things will be not complicated. It's very simple because you always have to refer the documentations for any of the resources that you want to utilize, any of the attribute that you want to check for that particular resources. So all the things, all the time you have to look into the resources, as I already mentioned in my previous videos. Okay, and the AWS I providing the reason. AP South one is the reason that is used for the Mumbai. Okay, the access key and secret key, this is the very sensitive informations, and you don't need to share with you anyone, because in that way your system will be get compromised, and this is not a good practice. Why I am doing this? Because uh, just to make you understand, because before releasing the video I will remove all the things so that nobody can use these types of keys, so that I'm not in the risk. Okay, So this is the AWS instance. I'm using the AMI image from the Mumbai because each of the images get changed as per the reason. Okay, so if I taking the MX Linux instance, the same instance have the different image name in other locations. Okay, for the Ohio region or for the Singapore region, you have the image name get changed. So you have to if you didn't watch my first video of the ESC2 instance, you can refer that because all the thing we already discussed in my past video. The instance type to be in the free tier, I'm using T2 micro, and this is the EIP. Okay, so this is the first thing that you already know. And what new we are going to do it, we are going to do some mess into it, mess something like that. We are uh, just creating problem with the format. Okay, so that I can suggest you how you can format this particular file again. So I am just removing the space from all the resource or provider. Okay, I'm going to save it. But before that, as we don't have anything, you can see that I don't have the binaries that downloaded for the provider. So I am going to run it Terraform in it. So it will look into the provider, and this provider matched. So regarding the provider versioning, I also released one video on the fourth part. You can refer that provider related things as well. That how we can handle it, how to we can downgrade the provider version, how we can increase it, how we can upgrade it. So all the things we already discussed in the past video. So you can see that the provider related things is already get downloaded. So you can see that we have one new folder in which we have the AWS provider. Okay, so this provider get downloaded, this is a supporting, and we have the log file also. Okay, this is our constraint, and this is the version that they provided. Okay, so till this step all the things are clear to you. Now I remove the spaces. Now what we are going to do, we are going to use the command Terraform for format. FMT command will used, and you can see that what happened. Terraform. Okay, so Terraform, the spelling is, there is some typo. Terraform. Okay, so you can see that I use the command Terraform for FMT, and you can see here the all the spaces, all the syntax get aligned, and the equal to sign is below that equal to sign. So you can see, you can use the Terraform format to just format your file. So this is the very useful command. When you code the things before committing into the repository, you can just apply the format command so that all the things get in a proper way. Okay, so this is the first learning for the today's video. So before committing the code into the depot, you have to run this command. Better if you are trying to use the plan, before that you can format your Terraform file. This is the best approach. Okay, the second thing is that suppose I added some attribute which is not exist. Okay, so like my machine. Okay, and name it as machine as a dev one. Okay, so this particular attribute not exist. Okay, so you can validate these particular things as well. So if you write a Terraform validate, so it will give you error that this particular attribute is not exist and not the part of that particular resource. So something like that, you get the informations when you run the Terraform. Okay, Terraform plan. Terraform pod. This will also running behind the Terraform validate first. So either way, either you can use the validate to validate all your code, or you can run the plan, and this will also give you the any validations error in the file. But it will be better if you run validate separately, because plan is doing lots of things. After that, it's produce the error. because if you have the hundred of resources that you are creating and associating each resources with each other, there are several types of things you can, because you are capable to build a complete architectures, okay, in any of the cloud environment using the Terraform. So better you can validate simple, the validate will simple check for any types of code error. So I'm just reviewing that part. So this is the second learning of today's video. Okay. Now I am going to save it and run it, so that this particular file will, what will it will do, it will create instance of T2 micro and one elastic IP. Okay, so that's it. There will be no linking. So first I am going to create this one, and then after we will do a linking. Okay, so let me run the Terraform plan again. So it will be better, always better to run a plan before the apply. Okay. So you can see that the plan, as per the plan, to add, so two new resources it's adding. So we are going to check it, the IP, okay, elastic IP, it will going to create, and this all informations we will get to know when the resource get created, and all this information will move to the state file. Okay, so that the Terraform will know that which particular resource is managed by the Terraform. Okay, so any of the resources that you are creating in the AWS that is not the part of the Terraform, that Terraform will not know about it, because Terraform always refer to the state file, so that they can understand that which currently resource is under the Terraform management. So all things looks good. So two resources, one is EIP and other one is the EC2 instance that we are going to create. Okay, so all things looks good. So now I am going to apply Terraform apply. Okay, one more thing I want to let you know, that if I run the apply, it will ask for the confirmations. Okay, so there is other way. If you are confirmed that I'm going to no. So if you are confirmed that okay, the plan, I seen the plan and all things looks good, because you are doing some minor changes, so you can write it down as a auto approve. So it will not ask you to provide your confirmations. This is also today's learning for one new things. Okay, in this way it will not ask you to, it's simply going to apply, because you already refer a plan. After that you are providing the auto approval, so it will not ask for your confirmations. It will go and create a resource. Okay, so once the resource get created, we will look into that, and after that we will do associations with EIP with EC2 instance. Okay, now I am jumping to it will have the confirmation message, and now I am jumping to the EC2 instance. Okay, here I am going to refresh it. So you can see that is one new instance and one elastic IP gets created. Now jumping to the elastic IP. So currently we don't have any information. Yes, we have. Now if you scroll a little bit here, you can see that the association ID is not there, means that we have the elastic IP created, but this elastic IP is not associated with any of the instance, so we don't have any informations here. And the EC2, we have the EC2 instance here. Okay, you can see that we have one running instance. Okay, so you can find all those information into the state file. If you look into the state file, let me refresh it. Okay, so this is the state file. If you look into the resources that it's created, so this is the one resource and this is the second resource. And the one resource, you can see the elastic IP, and you have all the informations related with that particular elastic IP that created, in which the Terraform manage all the resources that created by the Terraform and do the actions of any updations, any if you need the resource to be destroyed. So you can see the public IP is also 278. So you have the 278 EIP here. Let me scroll a little bit. elastic IP 278. Okay, and the instance ID also information. So in this way the Terraform manage the things. Okay, but here the problem is the association ID is not there. So elastic IP must be associated with any of the if you are running in the free tier account. So one elastic IP is comes into the free tier. Okay, but that elastic IP should be linked with the EC2 instance, which is in the running conditions. If you have the EIP and that is associated with the EC2 instance, but the EC2 instance is currently in a shutdown state, in which and you are using the AWS free tier account, then the AWS will charge to you, because EIP is very costly, you can say. So for your free tier account, you have only one EIP, and that should be associated, not dissociated, and that should be linked with the running instance. Okay, only one. So what today I am going to do, because currently in the previous video also we created several resources, and then there is no linking. So in this particular video, I am going to link. So we are going to link the EIP with the instance that gets created. So how we can do that? There is one resource that we need to add. This is the EIP associations. So in which we have to provide the AWS instance ID, okay, and then the allocations ID, the EIP ID we have to provide. So in this way, the Terraform will know that which allocations for the allocations ID, which EIP ID we have to pick up, because in the environment might be, if you are running with the for any organization, there might be 20 EIP, hundreds of EC2 instance. So how you can say that, or how you can guide the Terraform which particular instance ID to pick, and that will be associated with which elastic IP. So you have to instruct. That's why we have to provide all the informations here. You don't think in this way that we are creating one instance only and we have one EIP, so the associations will be done. No, you can understand in the in such a like a such situations, like if you have the 100 of EC2 instance and 50 of the elastic IP in an organization, so you have to provide all the informations. So I'm going to add a resource here. Okay, in this resource, I'm going to use the web. So this is the local name I'm going to use instead of web. I'm going to paste it here, and ID. This is the same because this is the attribute. We already seen in the previous video that how to check the resource attributes. Okay, so if you didn't refer my previous video, just have a look on those. And for the elastic IP, this is the example for the sample, and we are going to use LB. This is our local name for to identify that particular resource. That's it, guys. So I'm going to save it. So here you can see that currently the association ID of the instance is missing for the EC2 instance, and now I'm going to run our change again. So I'm going to run the plan. So again, as per the plan, I'm going to add one resource, so it will give the informations. Okay, so it's have one informations like one to add. So what it's going to use, it's going to use this instance ID, the B3F. So you can see that currently our BDD is the allocation ID for EIP, and this is the same I mentioned here. Okay, BDD FBDD. Okay, last four digit FBDD. Okay, and for the EC2 instance, we have here the one running instance is 2B3F. So 2B3F. So you can say that you can understand it that it's getting all the information from the state file. So we have the state file because both the resources is managed by the Terraform, and we have the state file locally in the system. In this way, Terraform know all the things which comes into the managed resource app for the Terraform. Okay, so this looks good to me, and I'm going to execute the plan, not auto approval, because I have to give the demo in several ways. So I'm confirmed. Okay, so if I'm confirmed, then I will use the auto approval. Okay, so what happened? Okay, this is not run, and in the plan you have to apply. Okay, my mistake. So I'm applying the changes with auto approve. So it will not ask for any confirmations. So the apply is completed and one resource get added. I'm going to refresh it. Okay, this is the instance. Now I'm going to the EIP, and EIP, if I refresh it, I must have the association ID here. You can see here that the association ID of the EC2 instance 2B35. So if I click on that, it will go to that particular EC2 instance that we created. And in the environment, we only have the one EC2 instance. So if you run this particular, click on this particular instance, it will give you all the information regarding that. Okay, so in this EC2 instance, if you see, the public ID is 278, and same we have the IP in the elastic IP also, because when we associate elastic IP with any particular instance, the public ID will be same for the that particular instance 278. Okay, so this for this session, that's it, guys. But I'm getting you a task like you can do create a resource on the security groups. Okay, and in the security groups, let me instruct you that there is inbound and outbound rules, the incoming traffic and the outgoing traffic from the issue2 instance. uh, so you can add some like in the default you can see. So you can create a security groups. This is the task, you have to create it, and after that you have to add some rules for the inbound. So inbound and outbound. So and link that security group to the issue2 instance. So this is your task. Okay, if you have any difficulty in doing it, let me know. I will add a shorter video with my second session and try to explain it if you feel any difficulties. But these all things are very quick. If you refer the documentations, you will get understand how to create a security groups. Okay, how to add the inbound and outbound rules for that particular security groups, and how we can link that security group to a particular instance. Because whenever the instance we create, that will take a default security groups. Okay, so if you talk about this instance when gets created, it's pick the default security groups. So you have to remove that security groups. That's not to take the default one. Okay, or you can just leave as it is. So default is also there, and the security groups that you created also get linked with this particular instance. Okay, and you can define some rules. You can just allow your IPs or on 80 port 433 port. So any of the things, so that you can familiar with how to create a resources and how to link with the resources. So this Terraform is also for to understand Terraform, you have to do lots of practice, same as the Kubernetes, so that you can familiar with all the things. So that's it for guys for today's sessions. And if you like my video, just subscribe to my channel if you didn't did it yet, and like it, comment it, and share it with your friends as well. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day.